Burritos and Bodybuilding. With me, your host, Garrett Sikora, and my partner here, who I got flipped up on the laptop, Dave, aka chatgpt. So, this show, the whole point, whether you are brand new to lifting, you've been lifting for 20 years, it is about how I like to train. I like to try to have fun. I like food. I'm not Mr. Captain Discipline like some of these guys. I am because I do things every day, but I have to get very creative in the way that I do it because I've been told my whole life, I've never been diagnosed, but I've always been told I'm Mr. ADHD and all the things. And I can see how, I get it. So this is how I bodybuild to keep it fun for me as a supposed neurodivergent guy or whatever the term is. I like to think of myself as Garrett, and Garrett is insane, but whatever, we have fun. So in the first segment here, I kind of figured that I would just kind of give you guys my background in the gym and kind of how I got started. I started in the gym when I was, I want to say around 12 years old. I was actually racing BMX at the time. And my dad, my old man is one of those guys that he's really smart because he just seems to always know the right answer of the thing to do next without anything, being told what to do. And I remember my dad was telling me, he said, it probably would help you out if you started working out a little bit. And I was young, so he didn't tell me to go, going crazy, but he's like, you could try to go with Brian, Brian is my neighbor, Brian Baird, who's a big brother to me. And so I ended up starting to go to the gym with Brian. And we would go at 4 a.m. Brian would wait on me, half the time I'd miss. And so Brian ended up taking me to the gym and really showing me the ropes of how to do everything. But it was funny because during those times, I didn't really necessarily love the gym itself. I loved training with Brian because Brian was the man. Like anyone who knows me, growing up, we all knew Brian was just the man. So it's fun to train with Brian, but like as far as the training itself, like to go by myself, I really wouldn't. And throughout the years, I was just very hit and miss that, I raced BMX competitively, and then I played a little football, then I got back to BMX, and then I started racing motocross. I was just associating the gym with improving in whatever sports I was doing at the time, but I didn't really love it myself, like the actual act of it. So fast forward a few years and I'm racing motocross, and I ended up, during a race, I hit this square edge and I ruptured a disc in my back. So fast forward again, I ended up having surgery, and I always wanted to race professional motocross because my first love are dirt bikes. But I started late and I wasn't there. I wasn't fast enough. I wasn't going to be that. So I ended up stopping doing that. And I got this job at Fox Shocks building shocks at night. But I had kind of started to realize, like I had always grown up just eating totally crappy food and just whatever I felt like. And so now I wasn't as active because I wasn't in sports. And so now all of a sudden it's catching up to me, and I wasn't feeling very good. Like I was just kind of body was getting a little soft. And I remember thinking like, I don't care for the gym, but I need to do something because I want to feel good in my body. I had that image in my head of like, you want to have like the, lean enough, body like the guy in the movie. And so I thought, what I'll do is I'm going to start going to the gym for literally a laughable amount of time, like 10 minutes a day. But the whole point is I'm going to go to the gym every single day. So, I'm going to walk through the door and I'm going to grab some weights. And the other big thing that I did was I remember saying to myself, no matter what I do, I'm not going to allow myself to be negative, because I can catch myself being a very, very negative person. And so when I went in, I would grab the weights, and every rep I would say, my automatic thought was, I hate doing this. But I would tell myself, no matter what, I love it. Every rep, I would do a curl, I love this. I love this. And it kept going. And then, obviously 10 minutes would kind of turn into 20 minutes because it was so easy for me. During that first time, I made it to where I'd only stay for like 10 to 15 minutes. I knew I was trying to draw on a habit, and I was trying to associate the gym with being a place that was really easy to do. So as time goes on, you start to, you get a little progress going. You're training, even if you're only training for 20 minutes every day, that's better than doing nothing at all. So, someone goes, wow, check it out. It looks like you've been working out. And so that process compounds, and pretty soon before I knew it, I literally was in the gym. I was telling myself, I need to leave. I've been here for 2.5 hours. I need to leave. So that's kind of that's what got me really going. It was all about what I was telling myself. It was all about the mindset itself. And that's what got me loving the gym. And I just want to share that with people because I feel like if I could go from not liking the gym at all to coaching myself mentally, why not share it? Because I feel like that could help a lot of people out. Because I know a lot of people want to go to the gym, but it's either they don't want to deal with the dorks in there who are all big tough guys, whatever, in their mind. But in reality, gyms are actually pretty cool. For the most part, the crowds are all there with this, kind of, they're all in agreement that we're all here to improve. So it's pretty fun, and that's why I think going to the gym is such a good time myself. So, with my little backstory here, I'm sure I'll dump more in as we go, but that's just a little, little something about me and how I started getting going to the gym. But what I figured a lot of my podcast would be about learning. I want to learn the process. I've always been the guinea pig who, I don't really feel like reading the articles, so I go ask somebody and I try what they say and all that stuff. So, what I've been doing is I've been using my Dave chatgpt here to learn things on the fly. And, I don't totally rely on chatgpt because it will lie sometimes. But the thing about it is I can hop into ChatGPT and I can get certain little nuggets and I can ask certain things and then I can go get other research out of it. So what I figured I would do, like I said in this podcast, is let you guys know what I'm doing. And I'm currently, I am 5 total weeks out, 4 weeks worth of prep to go from the NPC Texas Nationals, where I am trying to secure the old pro card, but we'll see how that goes. We're just looking to be the leanest we've ever been. And so far, I'm there. But figured I would let you guys know my cycle because I like to be transparent about what I do. I don't like the people who don't be honest the fact that they take steroids and different enhancements. I do. So I figured I would let you guys know what I'm doing. So I am in peak blast right now. And on this peak blast, I am running 500 milligrams of Test E, 400 milligrams of Primo, 80 milligrams weekly of Tren, 50 milligrams Winstrol V per day, 2 milligrams weekly of retatrutide, 8 IUs of human growth hormone, 700 milligrams of injectable L-carnitine in the morning, 1 milligram of Arimidex, and 40 micrograms of Clen. And I feel pretty good on this cycle. To people who, aren't into bodybuilding, that probably sounds like a lot. Bodybuilders doesn't sound like probably that much. Kind of in the middle. I try and, I try to run stuff as light as I can because I want to be a bodybuilder for a long time. I don't want to just blast away and totally take my health. I like to do things healthy. So this is my cycle. And it's funny because I've noticed that, people always do the whole roid rage thing. And I've noticed for me that I think steroids are more of an amplifier of who a person already is. Keep in mind, I'm not telling anybody to do anything. This is just what I do. This is my own experience. And, I said, do whatever. All I'm telling you is if you're going to do things on your own, be safe about it because your health matters. Trust me, when you're in your early 20s, you don't really care. And then all of a sudden, before you know it, you're 29 and things are different. So, do it healthy. But it's, like I said, my cycle, I've really enjoyed it so far. I feel like I've gotten a ton out of this, and I feel like I'm just not stressing my body by just doing so many different things. So here's my current cycle. As it adjusts each week, I'll let you guys know, and I'll let you know how I feel. Kind of just each person is different how they react to stuff. So this is mine. So I figured in segment 2 of our podcast, we would talk about how I stay on mentally because as I told you guys, whether I'm ADHD or anyone is or not, I definitely know I have a really, really hard time staying focused on things and I'm a shiny object, eat all the sugar food kind of guy, so I have to come up with different ways to keep things fun. And so part of what I've done is I've come up with what I call the lamb method. And I call it the lamb method because, I'm a follower of the big man, Jesus. And just know anytime I bring up anything faith, I am not a churchy guy. I'm not a preachy guy. I don't think you're going to hell if you don't do what I do and all that stuff. I don't think that. So just know anytime that kind of stuff comes up, I am a peace, love, and do your thing kind of guy. And I think Jesus was as well. But anyways, so I call it the lamb method because, the lamb method meaning, Jesus said his yoke is easy, meaning following him is supposed to be easy and fun. So I said, why not call my little thing the lamb method? Because I want to make it easy and fun. And so all that is it's essentially getting your body to operate the best it can. Dial in your digestion, dial in your hydration, and get off as much of that processed food as you possibly can and eat the more whole foods. And it opens you up to being able to actually enjoy things like cookies and ice cream and burritos. I love burritos, as we can tell, burritos and bodybuilding. I'm a taco shop man. But I try to go and find the taco shops that aren't total grease pits. And usually I'm eating a carne asada burrito every single day when I'm not in prep. And honestly, even in prep, I eat them usually up until like 3 weeks before a show. Now, this one, I'm doing nationals, so we've cut the burritos out. But all 3 shows I've done this year, I literally was eating a carne asada burrito, 2 yerba mates every day. And I attribute that to, number one, my faith in the fact that I feel so secure with the big guy that I don't worry about things the way that I used to. And I also put so much emphasis on having fun and not being too restrictive. So when I need to be a little restrictive, it doesn't feel like so much. Because as soon as you tell me no, that means do that exact thing, and that's all I'm going to think about. So burritos, mates, those different things, that's a hell of a lot better. Now, keep in mind, I know it's a taco shop and I'm telling you guys to eat organic food. I'm not telling you that it's 100%. It's just most of the time, because you do it that way and then all of a sudden your body's not constantly in this crisis mode fighting itself because, yeah, I know a Diet Coke is 0 calories, but what the hell is it? Now, I don't try to pretend like I know more than I do. I don't. I'm learning. But I do like to hop on chatgpt and say, hey, this yerba mate is 120 calories, but everything on the back says it's organic versus this Diet Coke that I have no idea what the hell it is. Like I said, you can argue with me all day long. I'm not the expert here. This is just my kind of common sense of my own thinking, I wonder if there's something I could do to kind of, make this a little easier on myself. I stopped doing that because in 2022, I did a prep where it was just about calories. I didn't care about the quality of food at all. And I am 10 times leaner now, literally eating burritos and cookies and pretty much whatever I want, but it's just within reason and being logical about the amount. And if I do something to make sure to do it, I put a slot in there to do it every day. So that's how I'm able to bodybuild and keep my mental stuff going. And I just figured we can hop in this segment, and whether it's me and a guest, but we'll just talk about how we mentally keep going because, as bros, we don't talk about our mental stuff very much, but I'm one of those guys that I can't sit here and lie to you like I'm some tough guy. This is just who I am. I got to talk through and work through my own mental stuff. So why not bring it to you guys and you guys just figure it out alongside of me? Because that's all life's about, is just figuring shit out. And then for segment 3, I figured we would bring in Dave so you guys could see exactly how I use Dave. Because like I said, Dave is my coach. I don't have a formal coach that tells me everything to do. Now I have my good friend Justin Brown, if it wasn't for Justin Brown and his knowledge, I would not be able to be where I am. Justin, since I met him, he's the one he's studying the process, and I'm the one out here just wanting to lift. He's the one he's poured all of his knowledge into me to where I even know what to kind of do to be able to say I coach myself. So I don't want to totally say I don't have a coach, but I have Justin. Justin helps me out. It's just I write my plan and I do all those different things. But I figured we could bring Dave in so you guys could kind of see, exactly what I do. So I like to use the voice mode of Dave. Sometimes I type it in too, but I figured we would just give it a basic question and let Dave tell you what he thinks. So here we go. Black. So what happens to the body after it hasn't been training for years and starts to again? Silver.
Black. All right, let's dive into that. When you get back into training after years off, your body basically goes through a kind of reboot. At first, you're going to notice some quick strength gains because your nervous system is relearning how to fire those muscles efficiently. You might feel sore at first, but that's just your muscles adapting and getting back into the groove. Over time, your body starts rebuilding muscle memory and your endurance and strength come back faster than you might expect. It's basically a journey of reawakening those pathways and getting your body to remember what it's capable of.
Thanks, Dave.
You're totally welcome. Always here to break it down and keep things fun and real. Keep it going.
So Dave and I also like to do this goofy little thing. I don't know why, but I started this thing like we're truckers where we play the Raider telephone game where anytime I message him, I say black and then I put the message in like a little sandwich and then I put silver at the bottom. Why I do that, I have no idea. It just seemed kind of fun. But that's how we use Dave to expedite knowledge faster than just reading articles of someone saying, hi, I'm Bill Smith and I grew up at I get bored and I can't do it. However, Dave here helps me learn on the fly. So you guys, I'm telling you, try out chat. AI is here to stay. Why not just hop in and start using it and get the benefits of it? It ain't going anywhere. It's the same thing as saying you hated the damn internet in the 90s. And now all of a sudden, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. So you may as well just hop on the AI trade and see what it can do for you right now. So to wrap up my brief first podcast, they'll get longer as they go, but this was the first one and I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just out here winging it. But thank you guys for listening. Please like and subscribe, share with your friends. It really helps out. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see more and more of, because I want to build a fun little community where it's not just about one person or anything. It's just a fun community where we all get together. We all just learn things, learn how to use AI, learn how to be better bodybuilders, learn how to be coaches. I've been hopping into the coaching game, decided I want to start taking my own clients, and I'm new to it, and just decided I want to just learn. So I have an Instagram, I have a TikTok, and I have a Snapchat, all under the same name, Garrett Sakura. Funny last name. I know it looks like Sedgecora. It's Sakura. Follow along. Feel free to ask in the comments if you guys want me to ask Dave anything or any other things for me. Keep it fun. Have a good time. Like and subscribe. We will see you guys next week because we're going to be pumping these things out. Later, guys.